What's going on, everybody? This is Mike on the mic coming at you with episode 3. We have such an amazing episode here lined up for you guys. I have my brother from another mother, Julio Reyes, joining me today. Julio, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're ready to go. Let's do this, man.
Sorry,
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna have a good one today, buddy. This is and I have to apologize. I'm a bit tardy to the party, a little late here on my live. I promised we would go live at 1. It's 1:07, but you know what? It's never too late to provide some awesome value to everybody. So we're just working out some kinks here, and but we're live. We're ready to go. Julio, thanks so much for joining me today, dude. You have no idea how much I appreciate it.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for doing this. We were chopping it up before this, because I think Michael's doing a great job, man. So if you think Michael's doing a great job, show the man some love. Let him know, man. Let him know that he's doing a great job.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna be rocking a great interview here. So, Julio, you and I have known each other for what, like maybe 6 months now, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's about accurate. Yeah, about 6 months or so.
Dude, guys, this man here has got so much value to share with you. He's got such great inspirational, spiritual messages, ways to connect back to yourself, and he's just the man with the plan, and I can't wait to hear what you got to say here. So why don't we just start? Like, tell me a little bit about your story. Like, why did you get into this business, Julio?
I'm humbled, first of all. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I'm kind of taken back because people tell me that, and I've actually had to learn to receive that from people because I've always been like, oh no, it's not me, it's not me. And it's, but the reality of it is my character is who my character is. And, my life experiences are who made me the man I am today, so I take that and I receive that. And I'm really humbled, by you saying such a thing, man. So much appreciative. I first got into the business, man, 2 years ago. I'm still fairly new. I'm a newbie. I'm still wet behind the ears, so to speak, but I first got turned on to the business, man, through my man, Jeff Hughes, 2 years ago, back in the Infinite days, scrolling through my feeds like anybody else. And he just, his words spoke to me, and he was talking about a life of freedom, a life of wanting more, and how the system is set up. Not necessarily for us to succeed, for everybody to succeed. We all come from different walks of life and different backgrounds, and some people are at a disadvantage and other people are at an advantage, and he just spoke to me, his words, how he presented the business at the forefront, and just, I think we all grow up feeling like, there's something more to life than this. There's something more to life than, hey, I'm going to eat, sleep, and die. You know what I'm saying? So that's, that we all have heard that at one point in time, the living the same life, same old crap, different day, just a different day kind of concept. We all grow up saying, hey, there has to be more to life than this. And the things that he was speaking about, were like, you know what? That's what I want. I want that time freedom. I want that financial freedom. I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to spend more time, with my kids, to be the best dad possible. We all go to work for what? To provide for our kids, to provide for our family. Yep. That is the purpose behind what we do. And that's how I first got turned on to it. And from there it was like 2 years of watching and being a spectator. Straggling on the fence like a lot of you all are probably following Michael. You like this guy, you like his content, you like what he's saying, you love his family photos and all of the info that all the value that he's bringing to you on a regular basis, but you're still not sure what's going on. You're like, what's this whole business thing about? So I was that guy, but I knew I wanted more. So I started to work on me. And work on the things that I saw that I didn't have, that the group was speaking about, and the message that was being brought across in the webinars, on Wednesdays. And I'm like, man, I've got to get things right. And I started to work on myself, and that's how it all started. That's how my journey started. So though I'm still new to the business and I'm only 6 months in, my journey started 2 years ago.
That's awesome, brother. I'm, fairly new myself. For anyone who doesn't know, I've only been in it for a year myself, and like yourself, I actually watched the same webinars with Jeff and the whole team, and Infinite and Thomas, and well before we all migrated over to Gaz. But honestly, it was super inspirational for me too at the time. It like literally struck like a lightning bolt. I remember Jeff saying, God forbid anybody take a risk in their life, take a chance on themselves. And it really struck home with me. I'm like, yeah, man, like, when's it going to be the right time? It's never going to be the right time, but the time is right now. Like, let's do
We
this.
put everything off to tomorrow. That's what people always say that, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Hey, you know what? Tomorrow's not guaranteed, and because tomorrow's not guaranteed, it's important that you make a move and a transition and a change for you today, and yeah, that's what you jumped on, obviously.
And, talking about making a change for yourself and working on yourself, like, obviously I love your message, and that's what your main focus is, really working on yourself, your self-development, and really harnessing the greatness within us. Is there anything that you can talk about, in terms of how to staying consistent with yourself, the spirit of expectancy and all of that amazing, amazing stuff that you love to talk about?
Well, something that the group is very lively in promoting is, of course, just that self-development, that self-enhancement. That's something that I've learned to work on. When you first asked me my first question, it was kind of like, I saw that Jeff had something that I didn't have. He sparked my interest in finding out what that more was. And in that, I started to realize aspects of my character, my persona that I needed to work on, that I needed to grow, that I needed to mature with. And in transition of all of those things, I started to read a lot more. I'm a very spiritually inclined man, so I started to get in my word a little bit more. That's my source. God is my source. So, I don't try to push off God on anybody. Everybody comes from different walks of life, and so some people, Buddha is their God, or that's their source, or so I'm not knocking anybody, in the slightest bit, but this is my source, and this is where I get my encouragement, my inspiration, from. So just really seeking out the face of God to say, hey, I need this direction, and I want more. So what are things that I need to work on, that I need to grow in order to get to where I want to be? And that's where where me striving for more, that's where it starts every single day. I feel like it's so important to start your morning off the right way, to hit the ground running, and what better day, what better way to do that than to tap into your source every single morning. It's vital. It's vital. To do that. I'm sorry, I got notifications going off. There's a lot of people who they kind of just, in their day, they're jumping at whatever is headed their way. They're kind of just going with the flow. I compare them to a tumbleweed. Whichever way the wind blows, that's which way they're going. I wanted to be rooted in something well. I wanted to have that firm foundation, not just in my belief, but in my everyday practices. And I found that in the group. I found a large aspect of that in a group, because only being in this group that I started to really dig down deep within myself. Meeting gentlemen like yourself, Michael, or like a Thomas Warden, or like a Jen Murray, and having the opportunity to go to Vegas this past year, eye-opening. It's like getting on, on these little Zooms like that, masterminding. I started to learn, and I felt as if pretend we're a tool in a box. I felt as if I was a good tool, and I was used, but I wasn't as sharp as I could be. Being around you guys, nice. You definitely helped me to become a sharp tool in that toolbox. And whenever I'm asked to step out like this, I'm a tool that's going to be used. And guess what? I'm a lot sharper than what I used to be, guys. And that all started with me tapping into my source, through me saying, hey, I wanted more,
Ask and you shall receive.
Yes, sir.
And it's all about getting connected back with your soul. And from what I've learned, at least, yes, I knew what I was walking into in terms of the training and the mindset development, but I had no idea that it was going to impact my life so heavily, and my everyday, my mentality overall, just my genuine happiness, I've taken a 180 turn myself in terms of just my everyday outlook on life and how I approach situations, and I'm eternally grateful. I could have never imagined all of this would have happened from an online platform like we have. Yeah, and you know, a lot of that comes with practicing our good habits, isn't it, Julio?
Yeah, habits are game changers. And you know, we've been living, I'm 36 years old, so I've been living a certain way the majority of my life. You know, and however old you are, you know, you've been operating in that frame of mind, you know, for X amount of years. You know, your life experiences have made you the person that you are today. You know, and if you feel like, you know, you want more out of life, you want that transition, you want that change, you want that growth, then you have to dig down deep within who you are as a person, who you are as a father, who you are as a mother, who you are as a son, and say, what do I really want? You know, so if you don't have a vision for yourself and what you want, you know, majority of people are just going with the flow, like I was just saying, like a tumbleweed going back and forth, you know. And I feel like if you want more, you have to search after it. You have to, you know, be on the grind 365 days. You can't, you know, it's going to take the consistency in your life in order to make that change, to make that transition, in order for that growth to take place. You know, it took you X amount of years to be the person you are here today. So it's going to take that much more, you going for the gusto within yourself and working at it, at that self-enhancement and self-development every single day. The day after that, tomorrow, I'm going to do it all over again. And the day after that, I'm going to do it all over again. And guess what? 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, I guarantee you, you're not going to be the person that you are today. You're going to be a better person. And people are going to go, man, what is it about you? You know, what is it about your attitude? What is it? You don't talk the same way, or she doesn't, you know, she's always smiling. Why is she so happy? Well, you know what? She made a change. He made a change. That person made a change because they decided, hey, enough is enough. I want to go after them more in life. You know, and that's what I'm after every single day. You know, every single day I'm striving to do something greater within myself. You know, I'm not comparing myself to you. I'm not comparing myself to other individuals in the business, but I'm comparing myself to who I was yesterday. And I say, you know what? I've learned a lot of stuff yesterday, but I'm going to apply all that stuff today, and I'm going to take it into my tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I'm going to continue to work at it. I'm going to continue to work at it. And every single day, you're going to become a better person. But if you don't take the time to work on you, how can you ever expect to have that transition? How can you ever expect to have that change, that growth, that maturity, you know, that breakthrough? A lot of people, they get to a certain point and then they stop because they're like, oh, I can't take it anymore. The weight of the world is on my shoulder. Well, you know, the weight of the world is on everybody's shoulder. You know, I'm sorry to not have a pity party with you, you know, but you know, everybody has a story behind, you know, who they are, you know, but nobody could do it for you. You got to want it yourself. That's the reality. You have to want it yourself. And I wanted it. So I go after it every single day. And then they go, oh, wait, Julio, why are you so excited? Why are you so charged? Why are you so happy? Well, my question to you is, why are you so sad? Why are you so negative? You know, why don't you have a smile on your face? You know, it's up to you. If you don't want it, nobody's going to do it for you. You got to want it. You got to have to go for it, you know?
Nobody, just like the commercial. Yeah, and you touched on something that's so huge there, is staying consistent in everything we do in the business. But of course, even if we're going to be talking about our self-development here, which we're touching on more, staying consistent with yourself is huge, because keeping your frequency up here, you know, when it's easy to fall back down into that trap, when things are coming at you, all angles of life are coming at you. But no, I'm going to stay up here. I'm going to let all the stuff that's anger and all the negative emotions that come at me, I'm going to let them slide right off my back, behind me. See you later. I'm going to keep charging forward. That's the attitude you got to have.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's going to take. You know, I can't tell you the amount of times in the last 2-3 months, you know, where somebody has reached out and they're like, man, bro, there's something different about you, man. I've known you for 10 years. I've known you for 20 years, Julio. I don't know what it is, bro, but whatever you got, I want it. You know, I actually got a call like that yesterday. You know, my boy Zach, who I went to high school with, he's a great buddy of mine, man. He called me up yesterday and we had a very small conversation. You know, and he told me that. So, and you know, whenever I'm feeling like doubtful, or I'm feeling like, you know, I'm operating off of a lower frequency, you know, a lower vibration, and I'm not my normal self, so to speak, the new normal, you know, I'll get one of those calls. I'll get one of those text messages. I'll get one of those messages off of Messenger. You know, people telling me like, bro, you're changing my freaking life, Julio. And I'm like, what? Me? Like, all I'm doing is posting some stuff on Facebook. All I'm doing is doing a 30-second or a 60-second go live. Are you serious? You telling me I'm changing your life? They're like, man, I've been depressed for the last month, man. I go to your page for inspiration. I go to your page for encouragement. I'm like, wow, I'm taking it back. You know, I'm actually taken back by that, you know. So to know that I'm making a change through my transition, through my growth, you know, I'm able to set somebody else free. I'm able to you know, break the chains off of somebody else's life because I changed their mentality and I changed their thought process based off of something they heard me say or based off of something that they seen me write or seen me something, you know, something that I posted. You know, to know that I'm making an impact like that on somebody's life is life-changing. It's life-changing for me, and it definitely keeps me humble. You know, I'll tell you that. And exactly, it takes that consistency. It takes you doing it day in and day out. And when you see that, you know, it's very empowering.
Oh, it's so empowering. I mean, just the fact that we have, that we live in this day and age of this technology, that we can broadcast ourselves to the world for free. We don't have to pay any airtime for that. Well, we can, but we don't have to. And
Right.
and the ability to impact other people's lives, even when we're not even aware of it. Like, that is just like so beautiful. And then to receive messages back and to feel that love, oh man, it totally supercharges you, keeps you going for sure. Julio, I don't want to keep you all day. I mean, I see you're at work, and I really, really appreciate you coming out, man. This has been so fun and so uplifting, and you're the man. I can't wait to meet you in person someday. I know we will.
We can do this again and again and again. I don't care, man. Seriously, if you haven't, I'm not trying to steal any of Michael's friends in the slightest bit, you know. But if you feel like, hey, you know what, I've been following Michael, and he's made the connection and so forth. By all means, add me on Facebook. You know, we all go through stuff. Let's keep it real. We all go through stuff. We're all in transition. We're all growing every single day. And if you're not, you need to start growing. And if you're not, you need to start charging yourself. You know, let's put it this way: your cell phone. If your cell phone doesn't maintain the charge, doesn't maintain that energy, is it going to operate? No. Can your car operate off of anything? Well, I mean, there's electric cars nowadays, but you know, if you don't put gas in your car, you ain't going to be able to get from point A to point B. You know, so it's so important and so vital that we stay plugged in, man. So whatever you do, whatever you're going through, I don't care what it is. Make sure that you're staying in tune. Make sure that you're staying plugged, man. Somebody wants to bring you down, tell them, I'm sorry, I don't want that. No negativity in my life. I'm gonna be operating on a different wavelength than you, man. I'm up here. I'm not gonna go down there. You know, so don't allow somebody to take you there, man. Stay encouraged, stay uplifted, man. Much love, guys. Appreciate you, Michael.
That's awesome. What a way to close, man. Well, I just want to thank everybody for joining, and give a quick shout out to everyone who jumped on here today. We got Patricia, we got Caressa Thomas, we got Ricky, Bob Williams. How's it going? Shiloh. You know, we got our whole fam jam here, Julio, and just goes to show how much love and how much support we have for one another in this community. Awesome, man. Just awesome. All right, brother. You have a good one, and we're doing this again. We're doing it.
Hey, I'm all for it. You let me know, and I'm here, Michael. You got my time, brother. Just let me know, and you can grab at me, man, anytime. Anytime, man. I love doing this, man.
Much
let iron sharpen iron, my brother.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much, brother. You have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Have a great one, guys. Make this day count, man.
Make it count is right.